Hi everyone, Kelt here, bringing you my thoughts on the British royal family, and today I'll be talking about the palace and the Harkles, briefly about the new president and his possible actions regarding Harry and Meghan, and the alleged surrogacy and the pressure on the palace to come clean. So, this is a subject that has been tentatively spoken about in the early days on private platforms and in private Facebook groups. Now it's being brought out into the mainstream, especially over the past year or so, with more and more people realising that things do not add up with all the timelines surrounding Meghan Markle's alleged pregnancy and birth. The only reason that people like myself have not let this go is because the line of succession within the monarchy demands that a child be born of the body. Most of us know this. I have another video that talks about the details of why this is. I'll try and put the link in. Unless those laws are changed, then it's also given us the obvious reason why Harry and Meghan have gone to great lengths to hide this. But it has become more and more ridiculous and bizarre, the way that they have thrown out Photoshop pictures, the way she threw her clothes together and strapped on obviously the wrong size moon bump many a day, and under a very shape-revealing dress. The list goes on. It wasn't a case of Meghan being clumsy, although she can be, or having no idea about pregnancies, although that's true, nor being tone deaf, which they both seem to be. It goes way beyond this. I think it's been intentional to make this whole thing as bizarre and as ridiculous as possible, to give the general public almost like a wake-up call to not just the Harkles, but everything else surrounding the monarchy and everything they believe to be a certain way, and to actually question these things. There had been demands for so long for the palace to respond while the late Queen was alive. She was being heavily criticised for not speaking out, whereas most of us could see that it was a chess game that she was playing, and playing really well. And when we look back over the things that she actually did do, it's quite incredible how she was always one step ahead. And this is shown in my video entitled 60 Times Meghan Was Told No by the Royal Family, and I'll include a link to that video at the end of this one. Many were upset that the Queen appeared to be doing nothing, but the list of things that she did, and these are the things that we knew about and the things that I was told by people in the know, and also the things that we could actually see with our own eyes and figure out for ourselves. I'm talking about the things that went on behind the scenes that no one knew about. For example, the times that the Queen would have been on her own with Harry and Meghan and no one to overhear what was said. Think about that. There must have been many times where the Queen stood her ground and got one over, and we never got to hear about it. Twice Meghan was made to leave the UK, once by the then Prince Charles and the second time by the late Queen. Most of us also know that the Queen was behind Meghan and Harry moving to Canada. They wanted to go there and actually have one foot in and one foot out, but the Queen said, no, you're out, basically. Harry was allegedly in disbelief that his dear granny was being so ruthless, but thought that she would change her mind, that it was just temporary. And Meghan was also in shock, but as always, she's always believed she can have her own way with everything, so nothing had changed there. Whatever the royal family becomes, whether it continues as a monarchy, Prince William with Catherine is leading the way, and he has always pushed to have the surrogacy brought out into the open, from posting anonymously on social media to actually demanding Harry comes out with the truth. And I think a palace statement was put out with that in mind, and I have another video about that which I'll try to find. There was also the pressure that Prince William was trying to put on his father to call out Harry on this. The then Prince Charles should have done it to protect his mother, and he did take a firm stance a few times publicly by calling for a car to take Meghan and Harry away from his garden birthday party just after they were married, and also he firmly said senior royals only when they tried to come in with the senior royals to view Charles's exhibition. If they had gone to Montecito, and most of us know they're not really there, and do what they said they wanted to do, which was have a quiet, normal life, then either show the photos and proper videos, not AI of the children, if they exist. We know they don't. So all this messing around with other people's children, photos that are ridiculous, that it's quite unbelievable that there are people out there that think that these are real photos of the children. And some photos of the little girl, and I'm not using that name anymore, looks as though she's years older than she should be, and it is beyond a joke now. It's also quite concerning that people can be so gullible and that so many can be taken in by the whole thing. If the spotlight was meant to shine on what was wrong with the royal family, then it seems to have backfired and seems to be very much on Harry and Meghan. It's beyond them being a distraction now. There have been deadlines where Harry and Meghan had to tell the truth to the public or be cut off financially completely at that time. And they always seem to manage to come up with something to get the sympathy on them. Whether it was being chased by paparazzi in Montecito or the mudslides in Montecito, there was always something back then. Well, now they cannot escape the demand of the public for the truth and transparency. They are already being called out for trespassing on private property when they were wandering through the remains of people's burnt out homes during the LA fires, and they've both been called out over their substance usage, especially Harry. And now that President Trump is cleaning house, so to speak, it's only a matter of time before Harry will have to leave, possibly, also Meghan. Because of his admitted substance usage and Meghan's, and actually we mustn't forget both of their alleged treasonous comments and behaviour regarding the sitting president. So Netflix has actually dumped her now, and the royal family are apparently discussing the best way to remove these alleged children from the line of succession without losing face. That's my take on it, that they're trying to do this without losing face. They all know that those names need to be removed if the monarchy is to continue with any credibility, though many think that that's too late. They cannot just remove the names and pretend that nothing's happened. Or can they? They have to give a reason. They have to be open and honest about this. If Meghan was a plant, which many think she was, then surely she served her purpose, because Harry's been whisked away from the royal family and dragged right down as far as he can go. The spotlight has been shown on Prince Andrew, also on the failings of the monarchy, and on the much darker aspects of certain ancient traditions that they allegedly still uphold today. If that was her purpose, to try and bring down the monarchy, then she did a good job of helping lose the mystique of the royals. But she did not allow for, and certainly her handlers did not allow for, the strength of character of several of the royal members who not just survived Meghan and were probably not involved in any of the darker traditions of the royals, but by being professional and stoic in the face of such dark and malevolent energies such as Meghan is known to emanate, their positivity and light shine through all of this, and it made many of us appreciate the few that made having a monarchy worthwhile. The pressure, however, is on for the surrogacy to be brought out into the open and talked about and addressed for the sake of the public who are owed this. Many are saying that Harry and Meghan would have sued long before now if this was not true. Dan Wootton has been relentless in addressing this, and also Lady Colin Campbell, who has said that she would be prepared to face Meghan and Harry in court. Meghan's own family have talked about this and thrown information out there and cast doubt on Meghan's ability to carry a child. Also, her ex-husband Trevor was alleged to have said that she could not have any children. So why haven't Harry and Meghan sued these people? It's because they're telling the truth. I'm envisaging the palace quietly removing the names from the royal website and then saying nothing and just waiting to see the public's reaction. I also think that they have a long history of not explaining things, just doing things, and I wonder if they will find a way to remove them from the line of succession without a clear explanation, or with some reasoning or excuse that will let Harry and Meghan off the hook and would not require them to actually admit the surrogacy, which would make the royals look so lacking in backbone and in integrity. My guess is that they will eventually remove their names from the line of succession, but not come clean about the surrogacy. But that's not giving credit to the general public, who, once seeing that the names would be removed, would demand answers and justice. They've been demanding answers to what they've been seeing with their own eyes regarding Meghan's moon bumps over these years. It's gone beyond having to show the pictures and show why we believe she wasn't pregnant and who was the surrogate, where did she actually give birth. All these questions have been chewed over and talked about, and some possible answers given over the years. But the most important question is what will be done about it? What will the palace do about this? Will they take their names off? Will it ever be addressed? If they remove their names from the website, how would they explain it? What reasons could they give for doing that? Apart from the fact that Meghan and Harry no longer are working royals, that doesn't lose Harry his royal lineage, his title of prince. The monarchy is known for not liking a mess and trying to brush things under the carpet and keep things from the public. They will not want to admit they were fooled by this. I think that they would feel it would be dishonouring to the late Queen to admit that she made such a huge gaffe, or that she was instrumental in the facade. In the palace's eyes, either way would put a stain on the Queen's legacy, and they would want to keep her legacy intact. So how to do this without losing face? Let me have your thoughts on this. Also, what with the incredible speed that the new president is signing executive orders, how long before Harry and Meghan are mentioned, and will they be? Again, your thoughts would be appreciated on this, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!